Now we are back to this moment in which we can carry on the teaching. It's the number 15, that is the teaching for today. The ambassador of Yahushua Ziadiaha Elia enters in your house. Again, greeting to all of you. Me, myself, greets you, the ambassador of Yahushua Ziadiaha Elia. Our teaching, you know the title, Disaster, because Jesus has mixed the new covenant, the old covenant, I mean, which is the Ten Commandments, and he mixed it with the new covenant. So the true name in the new covenant is Yahushua. So yeah, today we are going to talk about the old covenant and the new covenant. So what is the purpose, the goal of these? And why it is a disaster that Jesus has mixed it. Yeah, he mixed it because it's Jesus or Jesus who that they introduced in the Ten Commandments, that they entered in the Ten Commandments, and that is a disaster in this world, which brings problem, which destroys this your earth. So you will never get out of it till the end. But just a quick remark for you who were convinced after listening to this teaching, it's forbidden for you to copycat, to plagiarize. It's forbidden. You will not be saved once you plagiarize, so avoid that. But once you are convinced, go and write your name for the baptism and perform your baptism, because it's so bad that you plagiarize the teaching, because you are always covering yourself with Jesus till the end. Because baptism means clothes, and it is stuck on your body, on your skin, on your spirit. Galatians chapter 3 verse 27. Galatians chapter 3 verse 27. Yeah, I'm sorry for the cough because it's really cold and sometimes suddenly it's get hot. So yeah, but it doesn't matter because the words of God doesn't cough, but it's the body which cough, as it is the body. But the words always continues. Galatians chapter 3 verse 27. Whoever are baptized, for example, in Yahushua. So if you're baptized in Yahushua, so it's in Yahushua. But if you're baptized in Jesus, then you were covered yourself with where you were baptized. So those who were in Yahushua, they are covering themselves with Yahushua. And when you were with Jesus, you're covering yourself with Jesus. So as long as you know that Jesus is fake, so remember that once you have been baptized in him, then his name is stuck on your body. So you're just deceiving yourself if you're plagiarizing this teaching, because the baptism that you have performed has made you stuck in Jesus. That means that Jesus cannot get away from you. It will die with you, and when you die, you will go to hell with him, because he made you sinners. He himself made you sinners. So the wisest decision, once you are convinced with the teaching, you have to perform the baptism in Yahushua with the Ziadiah Elia, the one that you were saying now. You can see now, you can hear me now, you who are around the world, and you come to me, write your name for the baptism to kill that Jesus or Jesus, which is stuck on your body, because it cannot get away unless you are baptized here. So, and you will die if you will go to hell with that. So, you see, Jesus is a colleague of devils and Satans. And here's the thing that he did, which is very bad. He mixed the old covenant, the Ten Commandments, which is given to Moses, with the new covenant, and we know the name of the one who was nailed on the cross, the true one, Yahushua. But the fake one, he is called in another name, which is Jesus or Jesus. He is fake. He is a deceiver, and he was never nailed on the cross. And even there was no blood that he shed, even once. If he shed his blood, you have been washed away from your sin, and yeah, because that is it. I keep repeating that. Never sin anymore. But as long as you still sin, you are not with him. So you have to use your mind, you have to use your brain, and don't be dumb anymore. Okay. So what is the purpose of the old covenant, or the Ten Commandments? Because that is the old covenant. So the purpose of the covenant, so you have to take it down. Let's draw. The purpose of a covenant between you and God is so that you never sin, because he doesn't listen to sinners. And that's why devils were kicked out from the heavens, because that God of Abraham doesn't listen to sinners. So it's a foolishness for you if you're a sinner. So the purpose of that of that God, when he gives this all with this covenant, when he was getting along with these children of Israel, so that these people don't sin anymore, because as long as you are a sinner, you don't get along with him and he doesn't listen to you. So Isaiah 59 verse 1 and 2. Surely the arm of YAHVAH is not too short to save, nor his ear too dull to hear. But your iniquities have separated you from your God. Your sins have hidden his face from you, so he doesn't listen. So according to Isaiah 59 verse 1 and 2. Okay, technician, you have to show the chapter and verse quickly when I am giving it to you, so that the audience can see it. So here, that God doesn't listen to sinners. John 9:31. We know that God doesn't listen to sinners. There is no God who listens to sinners, and it is emphasized in 1 John chapter 3 verse 5 and 6. We know that he appeared to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. But whoever are sinners, they have not seen him, and they have not known him. So that is what the word said. So as long as you are sinners, you haven't seen him, you haven't known him. And even he emphasized in 1 John chapter 3 verse 8, whoever are sinners, they are from the devils. Whoever are sinners are from the devils, because because devils are sinners from the beginning. So that God never listened to sinners. So it's obvious, once he gives you words, the purpose is to make you someone who never sinned anymore. And that's why I said, the way you know this God of Abraham among these lots of names that you all sinners gave, because it all comes from you sinners, and there is no true name which comes from your mouth. But the God of Abraham, the true God of Abraham, his purpose is to make you someone who never sinned anymore, and that is given to the one who never sin anymore, and that is Ziad Elia. Whoever get along with Ziad Elia doesn't sin anymore. That is the proof that it's from the mouth of Ziad Elia that the true name of God came from, not from you sinner. And Ziad Elia gives you the true name, YAHVAH. That's the name which makes people washed away from their sins. When they get along with that true God, they become someone who never sin anymore. And here, I have to point out clearly, because people say that that name of God, we cannot mention that, so don't call. Yeah, that's true. Sinners cannot call his name, because how can a sinner pronounce the name of God? You cannot do that. But Elia can pronounce and give the name. In your book, whoever calls the name of YAHVAH will be saved. Isn't that written in your book? Okay, let me give you that passage. Whoever calls the name of YAHVAH will be saved. It's in Joel chapter 2 verse 32. Joel, um, this is to reply those who say that we cannot pronounce the name of that God. Yes, because you are sinners. That is the answer. But those who don't sin, those who are not sinner, they can really pronounce. In Malagasy version, it's in Joel chapter 3. Okay. Joel chapter 2 verse 32 in French version. In Joel chapter 2 verse 3. in Malagasy 8 chapter 3 verse 5. And everyone who calls on the name of Yahweh will be saved. So we can really call the name his name, but it's not sinners, but those who loves him and are with him can really pronounce. So in the Ten Commandments, when it is said, don't call the name in vain. So that means like you cannot call his name like at the nightclub or when you are drunk at the pub. No, that is not okay at all. Like you're dancing like at a pub or something, that is forbidden. That is the meaning of that law in the Ten Commandments, where don't call the name of God in vain. But look at those who said, don't call this name so that you were not saved. But here it is said, whoever calls the name of Yahweh will be saved. So it's about salvation. But devils made you someone who were not able to call that name, and you get separated away from the God of Abraham. That is the proof that you have done foolishness. And don't listen to these church leaders who made you sinners, whether they are Jews or Kohen, they are all sinners. Those who listen to sinners, they are all sinners too. Whatever they will give you as a name, they give you names from the devil. And it's a name which makes you sinners, but a name which washes you away from your sin, it's from the one who doesn't sin anymore, and that is from the heaven of heavens. Yahvah, that is his name. That is the name of the Creator, and Yahushua is the one that he sent. That is his son. Okay, let's get to the main topic. So he doesn't listen to sinners. So let's see. Okay, here. Okay, you can show it on the screen, technician. The goal of that God is so that you don't sin anymore. So the goal, let me draw a line here. You become someone who never sin anymore. That is the goal. Yeah, thanks to the words of God that I have given to you just earlier. So in that goal, so that you never sin anymore. Yeah, yeah. It's my board is a little bit smaller, but let's work with it. So he gave the Ten Commandments. That is the reason he gave the Ten Commandments, so that these people are better. They cannot be really good, but at least better. So this is the Ten Commandments, the ten. So the Ten Commandments were given to children of Israel. This is the first commandment or the old covenant. So FV, this is the first covenant or the old covenant FT. So these are the covenant given to the children of Israel, and this is mentioned in Exodus. Okay, you can take note and show the chapter and verse, the reference. I mean, Exodus chapter 19, verse 3 to 5. So this Exodus chapter 19, verse 3 to 5 shows that it's made for the children of Israel. Exodus chapter 19, verse 3 to 5. So it is made for the children of Israel. And it is emphasized, mentioned again in Psalm chapter 147, verse 19 and 20. So this emphasizes that it's made for the children of Israel. He said this to the children of Israel and the descendants of Jacob, and he didn't do that to the other nations. And his law, they have no clue with his law. So this is only made for the children of Israel. That is so clear. Give give this, say this to the children of Israel and the descendants of Jacob. So as long as they are the descendants of Israel, descendants of Jacob, yes, Israel is Jacob. So it's only these people who can observe. It's only these people who can observe these Ten Commandments according to what we have just seen. Okay, let me change the setting because there is that the screen is the screen is shutting quickly, so now it's a little bit longer. Yeah. So where is the sitting? Where is the sitting? Where is the sitting? Okay. Okay, now it will not like the screen timeout is a little bit longer now. So here we can see that it is made for the children of Israel, and only it's in the Canaan land that it can be observed. So that is the quality of that Ten Commandments covenant. Oh, yeah, it's the first covenant. Let me say one. Okay, so it's FV1. So it's the old covenant or the Ten Commandments. Yeah, we can call it as this. So it's only made for the children of Israel. Let's carry on. And it's only in Israel that it can be observed. So that is the quality of this covenant. It's only in Israel that it can be observed. Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 1, and also we will add with Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 1. So these are the passages which describes these Ten Commandments. These commands are given to you, Israel, so that you observe it in the land that you have to possess in your lifetime. You cannot bring it to France, in England, or in America, or in Madagascar, or in Japan. Otherwise, you were sinners, you were lawbreaker, and you go to hell. That is the law. You cannot enter in this. And there is a law inside according to Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 2. I'm gonna make it bigger here. It says don't add nor subtract. Let me put a square, like let me frame it here. So you cannot add, you cannot subtract here. So it is made for the children of Israel. That means you cannot enter there. And even look at this. Once you were starting to read the Ten Commandments, it is said, I am YAHVAH, the one who brought you from Egypt, from the land of slavery. So how can that be possible for you? Because it makes God liar if he gives that to you other nations, because the words cannot be added or subtracted. Let's read that in Exodus chapter 20. So let's read the Ten Commandments. Does it suits you or does it fits you? Exodus chapter 20. Show it, technician. Verse 2. Exodus 20 verse 2. I am YAHVAH, your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. So I am asking you then the question. You who are watching me and listening to me, have you been to Egypt? Who have made you out of Egypt? However, you live in Madagascar, in France, in England, whatever, but you have never been to Egypt. You see, you made God as a liar in the land of slavery. So what was your address or your ancestors when you were slaved in Egypt? You see, you don't have that. That's why it is not made for the other nations, but only for the children of Israel. And it's only for those people who were in Egypt at that time. That's it. It's only for those people who were in Egypt who can say that. Otherwise, just shut your mouth, because you were a liar, you were a deceiver, and you were just an imposter of the God, and you made that God of Abraham lie. That's why you were a devil. You just scammed the word, you were just swindling the world. Because you, pastor and father, you want people to pay the tithe. That's why you do that. And you just deceive people with these Ten Commandments, because that's how you can get the money behind. That is the devil's smartness. But this is not made for you, other nations. So who among the other nations can enter there? Because at the beginning of the words, it's me, YAHVAH, who get you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. And you were lying because you were not there. You were swindling. You were a liar. You were an impostor. And it's not surprising if you, church leader who teaches that, everyone who follows you are a deceiver and liar. That's why you are all sinners. But those who follow Elia, they are special. They never sin anymore because they never break these laws. Those who follow Elia. We got our own law, special law, which is given to this God of Abraham. And that is the new covenant. We will talk about it. But let's continue the words first of all. And let's add it in Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 1. It's still, it's Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1. Yeah, in Malagasy. But yeah, it is said, do not add and do not subtract. So this word is emphasized twice. You cannot add, you cannot subtract. So these commandments and decrees given to the children of Israel, you cannot add, you cannot subtract. Once it is for the children of Israel, it is for them. Once it is for the descendants of Jacob, it is for them. And it's only in Israel that it can be observed. You cannot bring it to elsewhere. Once you break that law, you are devil. Because you cannot add, you cannot subtract. That is a law which has been settled up, which there was blood of bull which was shed. And this law, this covenant was made firm because blood of bull was shed. Let's read it. Blood of bull was shed when it was been shown to people. Okay. It doesn't want to change. Exodus chapter 24, verse 3. We're going to start from the verse 3. When Moses went, Exodus 24, from the verse 3 to 8. When Moses went and told to the people all YAHVAH's words and laws, they responded with one voice, everything YAHVAH has said, we will do. Moses then wrote down everything YAHVAH has said. He got up early the next morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain and set up 12 stone pillars representing the 12 tribes of Israel. Then he sent young Israelite men, and they offered burnt offering and sacrificed young bulls and fellowship offering to YAHVAH. So they brought this young bull and they killed it as an offering. Moses took half of the blood and put it in the bowls, and the other half he splashed against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it to the people. So it becomes book of covenant. They responded, we will do everything YAHVAH has said, we will obey. Moses then took the blood, sprinkled it on the people and said, this is the blood of the covenant that YAHVAH has made with you in accordance with all these words. So it was sprinkled to the people and to the book. Here is the blood of covenant that YAHVAH has made with you. So that is so clear for you who have listened. This covenant was being made firm, and blood of bull was shed. And it was a covenant that Moshe and the people, the children of Israel, has made in front of that YAHVAH. So it was made firm, and you cannot add it, you cannot subtract it. So it's a covenant that they have made, the children of Israel made with that YAHVAH. So it's a law and decrees for the children of Israel, and they cannot get out of it. When they observe it, it's all of it, and they were 613 for those who have already counted it. So for you who are listening right now, remember, you cannot touch anything in it. You cannot add anything in it. But that is the law of God made for the children of Israel, those who were slaves in Egypt and for their descendants. Only in Israel that it can be observed. You cannot bring it out of it. But the question is, what have you done? What is that law breaking that you have done? And the others have heard these words. Immediately, they copycats, they steal this teaching, and they change theirs. And they're like, we don't observe the law of Moses anymore, but they still keep the Ten Commandments because the Ten Commandments is in the throne of God. But I have explained to you, when the words were given to the children of Israel, they were scared. And when they were scared, they asked, let this God not speak to us. Let us stay here. But you, Moses, go up there and we will listen to that. So it's the children of Israel who asked that. And when God accepted, God agreed. But it didn't stop at 10. Like 10 is only for from him and the others are not from him. No. The words, the law were 613. But it's only the children of Israel who were scared and it didn't knew. Sorry for the cough. Yeah, I am coughing a lot. Don't listen to my cough, but listen to the word. Okay, let's let's continue. Let's carry on. Later, because that is the total of the law, the Ten Commandments, and the law of Moses. You cannot add, you cannot subtract. It's the commands of YAHVAH. So that is what I said. Once you were convinced that you have been trapped in devil's way, you have to get away from them and come to Elia, Ziadiha Elia. Don't go to plagiarizers. Because your baptism, you cannot get rid of it. That's why I have talked about the baptism at the beginning. It's not when you're convinced you're going to show pride and you're going to show you're going to find another church. You will never be able to get out of it. Who will baptize you? Who will perform your baptism? You will be stuck in that situation. You will never get away from that. But you must come to Ziadiha Elia so that you will be washed away from all of the foolishness that has been entered in you, all the craziness that you had, and all the sins that you get. That is the proof that you are sinners. Now you are guilty because of the book catechumen and the catechism. They made you guilty. You who have paid the tithe from the beginning, that means that you are already observing the Ten Commandments. These all make you guilty. The Jesus and Jesus that you worship, it's Him who made you do that. It makes you guilty, and even your baptism makes you guilty. You were covering this Jesus who is a murderer, and now you have been died for many times. And when you die now, you will end up to hell. Be conscious. So what happened to these Ten Commandments and the law of Moses? What happens with that was this thing made God angry because the children of Israel took advantage with it. So when this sacrifice law was taken advantage by the children of Israel, because that was made to wash their sins away from them. So they just sin, and after they wait for this time to wash their sins away. So yeah, when this moment come, they bring fat. And Dad Yava get upset and he removed the sacrifice. So that is the question for you Jews. And also there was a Malagasy Jews who has been asked with that question. How can you get away from it? You who have killed YAHOSHUAH. It's the God of Abraham himself who removed the atonement of sin once a year. So where is the forgiveness of your sin? And they were not afraid by saying that there is another prophet who gave them law to wash their sins. So I asked them, who told you that the words of this prophet can wash your sins? Have you made agreement with this prophet? Like fixed your lips, but fixing your lips doesn't mean that you were washed away from your sins. But the sins of children of Israel can be washed away with the sacrifice, the offering once a year. Let's read it. Where is it? It's in Leviticus chapter 16. Leviticus chapter 16, and let's read it. Okay. Ah, Yeah, I was in the 17. I was surprised. Okay, Leviticus chapter 16 verse 3, from the verse 3 to 7 or 8, I think, and after we will jump. This is how Aaron is to enter the most holy place. He must first bring a young bull for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. So this is the young bull and a ram as an offering for a sin offering. He is to put on the sacred linen tunic with linen undergarment next to his body. He is to tie the linen sash around him and put on the linen turban. These are sacred garments, so he must bathe himself with water before he puts them on. Okay, verse 5. From the Israelites community, he is to take 2 male goats for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. So this is like there is bull, there is ram, there is goat for the sin offering and the burnt offering. So let's jump immediately to the verse. Where was it? Verse 30. We're going to read from the verse 30 to 34. Because on this day atonement will be made for you to cleanse you. Then before YAHVAH you will be clean from all your sins. So this is how they will get they will do the sin of offering. It is a day of Sabbath rest, and you must deny yourself. It is a lasting ordinance. The priest who is anointed and ordained to succeed his father as high priest is to make atonement. He is to put on the sacred linen garment and make atonement for the whole most holy place, for the tent of meeting and the altar, and for the priests and all the members of the community. That is a lasting ordinance for the that is the lasting ordinance for you. Atonement is to be made once a year for all the sins of the Israelites. So there is no atonement of sin except this one for the Ten Commandments observers. There is no forgiveness of sin that this God of Abraham gave except this sacrifice or offering a law. Leviticus chapter 16. It's an atonement of for sin once a year. It's not in Amos. It's not in Joel. These prophets cannot give that kind of law. That is for those who cry to be Judah. They cry to be Jews. But the atonement of your sin is this offering. And this is what you did. This is what the Jews before you did. And they just commit sin and they just wait for this day to wash their sins away. That is evil. That's why that YAHVAH was really angry, and he didn't appreciate the offering and the sacrifice, and he removed it. And it's clear the one who destroyed the Ten Commandments and the law of Moses, which were made firm, it's the God of Abraham himself, and it was made officially on the cross through his son YAHOSHUAH that he sent. Like, okay, now the new covenant has entered, and it's done for the Ten Commandments. So yeah, that YAHVAH has destroyed it because he was really fed up with that. So let's look for the reference. Let's read Isaiah chapter 1. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 11 to 13. So listen to the anger of that YAHVAH. The multitude of your sacrifices, what are they to me? Say YAHVAH. Sorry. I have more than enough of burnt offerings, of rams, and the fat of fattened animals. I have no pleasure in the blood of bulls and lambs and goats. These are not good for me anymore. When you come to appear before me, who has asked this of you? This trampling on my court. Stop bringing meaningless offerings. Your incense is detestable to me. New moons, Sabbaths, and convocations. I cannot bear your worthless assemblies. Your new moon feast and your appointed festivals I hate with all my being. They have become a burden to me. I am weary of bearing them. So here, the God of Abraham is bored, is fed up with that. I don't need your offering anymore. I had enough of it. And after he cursed, let's see, it's a curse for those who still carry on this. Okay, let's carry on. All the words from that YAHVAH showing his anger for those who still do it. Let's read Jeremiah chapter 6 verse 20 verse 20. Let's look for that passage. Jeremiah chapter 6 verse 20. What do I care about incense from Sheba, or sweet calamus from a distant land? Your burnt offering are not acceptable. Your sacrifice do not please me. That's it. That's so bad. It's terrible. Let's read what's next. Therefore, this is what YAHVAH says. It's still his anger. I will put obstacles before these people. Parents and children alike will stumble over them. Neighbors and friends will perish. Oh, that is real anger. This is what YAHVAH says. Look, an army is coming from the land of the north. A great nation is being stirred up from the end of the earth. They are armed with bow and spears. They are cruel and show no mercy. They sound like a roaring sea as they ride on their horses. They come like men in battle formation to attack daughter Zion. Wow. Even it end up with the destruction of Israel. I am fed up. I have had enough with your offering. So it's obvious that the law of offering, which is for the forgiveness of the sin that YAHVAH has got, it's not okay for me anymore, as he said. So as you cannot do it anymore, you will be always sinners forever for you Ten Commandments observers. And now you have no fear, but you took Jesus and you put it in the place of this law. However, I have just taught you, you cannot add, you cannot subtract. So who have made you done that? Haven't you read Galatians chapter 3 verse 15? When a covenant was made firm, you cannot add or subtract from it. Galatians chapter 3 verse 15. When a covenant is made firm, you cannot add. You cannot subtract. Even human cannot do that. Once they have made an agreement, when it is brought in the town hall, in a government office, you cannot modify. But if you want to do that, you have to destroy the previous one and you have to make a new one. But I am surprised with these people who go to the government office and they know that, but their worshipping is like demonic thing, demonic prayer and worshipping. They're in breaking the law and without following the words. That's why you are sinners. Just read carefully the Galatians chapter 3 verse 15. It's an additional verse for the Deuteronomy chapter 4 and 2, Deuteronomy chapter 13 verse 32. That is dangerous, you know. Let's carry on. Just to emphasize, like that YAHVAH doesn't accept this offering anymore. So Isaiah 66 verse 3. Where is it? Where can we find it? Isaiah 66. Yeah, that's it. About this offering, which is a forgiveness for the children of Israel once a year. Let's read it in the verse 3. But whoever sacrifices a bull is like one who kills a person. So this is the curse. Just kill a bull, sacrifice a bull, and you are like killing a person. That is the proof that he doesn't accept the sacrifice anymore. And whoever offers a lamb is like one who breaks a dog's neck. However, dogs are outside. So it's like you are breaking dog's neck if you're still bringing offering any offering. So that is likely what you do. And whoever makes a grain offering is like one who presents pig's blood. However, pigs is something really forbidden in Ten Commandments and the law of Moshe. So you are like giving pig's blood if you were still doing this sacrifice. And whoever burns memorial incense is like one who worship an idol. You are like worshiping an idol if you are still doing that. Now it is proved, and it's clear. The word is so clear that YAHVAH doesn't accept the sacrifice anymore. That is clear that there is no more forgiveness of sin for the Ten Commandments observers, and of course those who observe the Ten Commandments and the law of Moshe, which you cannot split apart. We have just shown that you cannot add, you cannot subtract. But it's devil who say that there is cultural laws, ceremonial laws, and moral laws. There is another laws that they call it, but they split it apart. Show me the words of God which says that, if that exists. But in that law, it is a book of covenant, and do not add, do not subtract. You cannot split it apart like that. The covenant, when it is made firm, you cannot subtract, you cannot add. So what is this ceremonial, cultural, so on and so forth? Moral laws? These are all forbidden. It's forbidden, it's unacceptable, it's terrible. It is against the law, and the lawbreaker, who are the devils, they split it apart like that. They are devils. Because when we ask them, show the words of God, which shows that, but that doesn't exist. Even there, it's the opposite. It contradicts what they say, like morals law, cultural law, ceremonial law. When we ask them to show the words of God, which shows that, but they just reply that bluntly. That's what makes them devils. They're just lying. They don't know anything about it. Because we see in First Kings chapter 2 verse 3, it's all in one book. Where can you find that? Chapter 3 verse 3. First Kings chapter 2 verse 3. This is what Moshe wrote. And observe what YAHVAH your God requires. Walk in obedience to him and keep his decrees and command his laws and regulations. So this is the Ten Commandments with commands and decrees as written in the law of Moshe. Do this so that you may prosper in all you do and wherever you go. That is obvious. So all of the words are in one book. Ten Commandments, the law of Moshe, or the commands and decrees. It's all in the book of Moshe, and it was bull's blood was shed on it. So there is nothing like a cultural law, ceremonial law. These are all devils saying, but there is no such thing in the law of Moshe. And these Ten Commandments cannot be separated or split apart from the law of Moshe. You who say that the Ten Commandments is in heaven of heavens, you still made God as a liar. But there is no Ten Commandments which is in the heaven. Let's read this in Deuteronomy chapter 30 from the verse 11. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 11 to 12. We have to read this because it is necessary to destroy those who have changed this law of God. Like they split it apart, and even they ended up by saying that it is in heaven. Devils are those who say that there is no Ten Commandments which is in heaven. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 11 and 12. Now, what I command you today is not too difficult for you or beyond your reach. It is not up in heaven, so that you have to ask, who will ascend into heaven to get it and proclaim it to us so we may obey it? So it's a lie for those who say that it's in heaven. That is a lie. They are the people who want you to observe the Ten Commandments, and they want to always make you observe the Sabbath and want you to pay money like the tithe. But it is not in the heaven. When that YAHVAH said it's not here, so it's not there. So those who took the Revelation chapter 15 verse 5, like the witness is the Ten Commandments. But you were wrong when God said it is not in heaven. So if someone say the opposite, it's the devil who said that. The devil. In English, démon for French, or diable, and devil for Malagasy. And you made the God of Abraham as a liar. This is something that you cannot add or subtract. So whoever said that the Ten Commandments is in heaven, they are devils. So it's up to you if you want to follow this devil. But it's this person is devil. And whoever teaches such thing, they are colleagues of the devils. They work with the devil. So it's up to you who want to follow him or not. But follow him if you want to be thrown to hell and receive the consequences. Yeah, maybe if those who have gone to hell can speak, maybe you have escaped, but they are not able because you are pride. You are showing pride. You may say, what is happening in the Revelation chapter 15? I was just explained. Whoever said that the Ten Commandments is in the heaven, they are devils, because it is said, do not add, do not subtract. It is said the Ten Commandment is not in the heaven, so do not change that. And you may say, haven't the Ten Commandments been destroyed? But that doesn't mean that the Ten Commandments can be in the heaven, because it is said it's not in the heaven. So even if it was destroyed, it is not in the heaven, because it is said it's not in the heaven. At the moment this word was given, the God of Abraham said, here in us there is no Ten Commandments. So don't say nonsense thing. So don't say that when that YAHVAH destroyed it, it is in the heaven now. So you are making God as a liar, if so. Because he's not a human, he doesn't lie, he's not a human, and he doesn't regret that. He said it's not in heaven, it's not in heaven. So if you ask explanation for this Revelation chapter 15, so let me answer. So the witness is YAHOSHUAH, not Ten Commandments. But you were just deceived by the Protestants with the translation, like the tabernacle of the witness was opened and it was the Ten Commandments. No, you don't know any witnesses except the Ten Commandments. That is your problem. Okay, let's read Revelation, the book of Revelation. Let's read it. In Protestant version, maybe for the first reading. Roman Catholic Bible. Revelation chapter 1 verse 1. Let's read it first of all. So here the name is wrong, but I will immediately correct it. The revelation from YAHOSHUAH, which God gave him to show his servant what must soon take place. He made it known by sending his angel to his servant John. So who is making the revelation? Revelation from YAHOSHUAH. So it's YAHOSHUAH who gives that revelation in the heaven. So this revelation was made in the house of revelation. So it was made in the house of revelation. That's why it was the house of revelation. So, after that, I saw the temple being opened, where there's the place of revelation in the heaven. So there is a place, the place of revelation. So it's a place where a revelation is being made. And the one who made the revelation is YAHOSHUAH. And YAHOSHUAH is the witness being talked here. If there is a witness being said in the heaven of heavens, it's YAHOSHUAH who is the witness there, according to Revelation chapter 14. Revelation chapter 3 verse 14. So he is the witness. To the angel of the church in Laodicea, church in Laodicea, right. These are the words of the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the rule of God's creation. So, witness according to, when we are talking about the Revelation, the book of Revelation, it's YAHOSHUAH. That is the witness there. And it's not 10 Commandments. But the Protestants has deceived you. But YAHOSHUAH is doing the revelation, and that 10 Commandment is not in the heaven. So if there is a witness which is being said in the Revelation book, it's about YAHOSHUAH. According to, I think it's Revelation chapter 1, verse 5. And from YAHOSHUAH, who is the faithful witness and firstborn from the dead, and the ruler of the kings of earth. So YAHOSHUAH is the faithful witness. Catholic has wrong name, but I corrected. It's YAHOSHUAH. But these are to deceive people. That's why people are, all humans are sinners. But as long as there is witness in the Revelations book, there is no 10 Commandments in the heaven of heavens, but the witness there is YAHOSHUAH. But you were just deceived by the Protestants' Bible. So now I am going to read the Protestants' Bible. This is how you were deceived. Revelation chapter 15, verse 5. After this I looked, and I saw in heaven the temple, that is the tabernacle of witness in the heaven. So once you saw the witness, the Protestants had made it as 10 Commandments, and now you were in a wrong address. You have been made into the wrong address. You all have been deceived. You all, the whole church, the whole family, the whole country, you have been deceived by the Protestants. They deceived you. Immediately, they made you sin, you all. It is said, the word said, the 10 Commandments is not in the heaven. And now you say that the 10 Commandments is in the heaven. But what you are doing, you are not thinking at all. You don't have brain. And you may say, you are using strong word. Yes, you will heal with that. If you don't want to be healed, don't listen to me. If you want to be healed, then listen to Elia. Our word is not like your word, which kills you to hell. But our word is not to show the wisdom of human, but to show the strength of the Spirit from that YAHVAH. And it's not your wisdom, but the wisdom of God. And this is the wisdom of God. It's like what Elia is doing. It's to save you. So you have to know how to listen. Let's continue the word. Because that's how you were deceived. The revelation from YAHOSHUAH that God gave to him. So the one who do the revelation is YAHOSHUAH. And when the temple was opened, the tabernacle of the witness, and the witness is YAHOSHUAH. So it's a place where YAHOSHUAH used to make declaration, revelation. So it's in this tabernacle. And that is it. The witness in this tabernacle is no one but YAHOSHUAH. That is it. The revelation from YAHOSHUAH that God gave him, and it was in the tabernacle that he made the revelation, where there was, when the temple was opened, and there was the tabernacle of the witness. So the witness, the owner of this tabernacle, the owner of this is YAHOSHUAH, because he enters in for the revelation. That's clear. But the 10 Commandments, it's not in this. But it's the devil who taught you that. That's clear. And that is where I am telling you, you are all dead. You are killed. You have done You have transgressed the law. And now it's so clear. The Ten Commandments is not in the heaven. That is clear. And it is made firm, so you cannot touch anything in it. However, we have seen that it's that YAHVAH himself who changed this covenant, and this is what he said when he was angry about this covenant. And he said, "I will give another law. I will send you another messenger in the scroll, written in the scroll, and this one will bring you law for you, human." That is what he said. Psalm so here there is a new program. No, no, no. It's to change the covenant, Ten Commandments completely, because there is a law, 613 laws, so you cannot add, you cannot subtract on it. However, God here, He said clearly that there is a servant that He sent in the scroll, and He will bring law for humans. So that means that this law cannot be added into the previous law. So this is a different law that human will follow. But you, Ten Commandments observers, how can you be washed away from your sin? Because your law that you cannot deny is the sacrifice law. Otherwise, you cannot be forgiven from your sin. And you cannot go through the scroll. You cannot mix them. That is forbidden. When a covenant is made firm, you cannot add nor subtract. But you are buried in the Ten Commandments. You cannot escape from there. So where is the forgiveness for your sin? Because Leviticus chapter 16 is the atonement for your sin. However, that YAHVAH didn't accept that anymore. And he dares to say there is someone who come in the scroll, messenger of that YAHVAH, who brings another law. So the new law has arrived in the new covenant because the way in the Ten Commandments is already blocked, and those who dwell in that Ten Commandments are buried in the sin forever. That's why Elias says, when you are convinced, come for the baptism and come to Elias, Yada Elia, and don't escape to the devils. Don't escape to the devils. Ah, there are some people who has no brain. That is the pride. Once they know the truth, they don't want to come to the truth, but they still want to find another way. But that's the result of their bad mouthing. But as long as you can come if you have not defamed yet, because it's only those people who have not said speaking ill that can come to Ziadia Elia, the one that you can see now. Okay, I'm going to give you the words of God, saying that there will be another law which has no connection to the old covenant, the Ten Commandments and the law of Moshe, because this cannot be added or subtracted. So this one is completely different. Where was it? Psalm chapter 40. And I will stop for the first part here, and we will enter in the second part after. Psalm chapter 40. Okay. Verse 6. Verse 6 and 7 and 8. 6, 7, 8. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but my ears you have opened. Now I can hear well. Burnt offerings and sins offering you did not require. So it's all over about it. Then I said, here I am. I have come. It is written about me in the scroll. So this is the Son of the Most High. His name is YAHOSHUAH. I desire to do your will, my God. I desire to do your will, my God. Your law is within my heart. Oh, wow. And your law is within me. So he's going to do the desire of God, and the law of God is in him. Okay. So what's next? Let's carry on. I proclaim your saving act in the great assembly, I do not seal my lips. YAHVAH, as you know, I do not hide your righteousness in my heart. I speak of your faithfulness and your saving help. I do not conceal your love and your faithfulness from the great assembly. Do not withhold your mercy from me, YAHVAH. May your love and faithfulness always protect me. That's it. Okay, let's see the law. And your law is within me. So there, Yahushua has law to give. There is a law that he has brought. He was being mentioned in the scroll. There will be new law that will be brought, which cannot be mixed with the Ten Commandments and the law of Moshe, because it was already made firm, and you cannot touch it. But what happens? They saw this law, and they said that the sacrifice law was is removed, and they brought Jesus and put it as a substitute of the Leviticus chapter 16. Isn't that a disaster? A terrible disaster? Because Jesus has taken the place of the the bull, the goat, and instead of the blood of bull and ram, it's his blood that he put in there. But there is no blood that he shed. But he's an impostor, and he's the enemy of God of Abraham. And you who are following him, get ready, because it's getting a war. It is going to be a war. You church leaders, get ready. You all, you in Vatican, you in London, you in America, you were supposed to be the church leader. Get ready. Who has made it to do that? Do you think that this God of Abraham is sleepy? His messenger is here. Eliah is his name, the one that you see now. I am already asking you, who has made you to do that? Tell me, who told you to do that? But you have taken Jesus and Jesus, and you put it in the place of the bull and ram and lamb, which is in the Leviticus 16, which the children of Israel should do it once a year. But you have made to substitute that. Why see the danger and they take shelter, but fool keep going on and they are in trouble? Be conscious, everyone. What you have done is completely forbidden and unacceptable. But obviously, that is the proof that the new covenant has arrived, which was mentioned in the scroll, and that is Yahushua. He was made for the world, the entire world. So now we're going to end the first part. We are going to enter in the second part now.